Hey, I'm Brian, and inside this box is hopefully the new iPhone 13 Pro in blue. I just locked myself out while getting this from the UPS guy and had to run halfway through the city to get this package in here to unbox it. But that shouldn't stop us now, so let's dig in. Okay, so I'm going to grab my nice pink unboxing knife here and cut open these seals on this cardboard box and get the iPhone out of here. So, there it already is. Of course, this is the Pro model, so this is a black box. And on the back here, you have these two tabs that you can just pull and open it without having to use a knife. Of course, that's a bit useless because you do have to cut open that box, but of course, if you buy it in a store, then you can open it up without having to bring a knife with you. Of course, this box, again, is smaller than the ones before the iPhone 12. And that's of course because there's, again, no charger in the box. The whole argument about the environment, I don't really buy that because this iPhone, of course, like the other one, does come with a USB-C cable. And most people who have an old iPhone are not going to have a USB-C compatible charger, especially because this iPhone also supports fast charging, which old ones didn't. So you're probably going to have to buy a new charger anyway. And because Apple also makes all of their new MagSafe accessories, I think this really is more of a cost-saving measure to fit more iPhones into a container so you can get more out for less, and of course also to sell more accessories. Now, inside here you have the iPhone up at the top. I really like this blue color. I think this is definitely nicer than what we had before. Also way nicer than the blue of the iPhone 12. But we're going to put this aside for now and look what's inside the box. Of course, as I already said, there's a USB Type-C to Lightning cable. Just pretty standard stuff. And then up here, you have all of your documentation, your SIM eject tool, as well as an Apple sticker. Just one now. Unfortunately, there's not two Apple stickers included with iPhones anymore. Also cut because of the smaller box. Okay, so let's put this stuff aside. Let's put this over here. And we have the iPhone itself. Let's do the peel. Put this aside. And of course, what you could have seen is that there's no plastic wrap around this box, and there's also no plastic wrap around the iPhone, which Apple already, I think, removed last year. So I think that's pretty nice that there's no plastic in here anymore. All of these inlays are also paper. So at least they're doing something for the environment, even if that whole cutting the charger thing isn't really that. Of course, what's new with this new iPhone, you have the new camera element in the top left. It's a lot bigger now, definitely. I can see that that's definitely a lot bigger than what we had on especially the smaller iPhone before. The Pro Max already had a bigger camera element last time. But yeah, that's definitely one of the main new things that you get with the new iPhone 13 Pro. And of course, this color, which I think is really nice. I think this is definitely a nice change from last year. It's definitely not as blue as I would have thought though. It's definitely a lot more gray when you don't have it in bright sunlight. When I have the lamp shining on it, it does look more blue, but it's definitely more of a mix between a darker gray and a blue. So it's not as blue as you would have maybe expected from the event. That's something you probably should know. But I still think that it looks way nicer than the super deep blue of the iPhone 12 last time, which I think was a bit too much. This is a lot more subtle. Of course, the other big new thing is the new display on the front that now has ProMotion with 120 Hz. And that's also the reason why I got the Pro model this year, because I think that the difference to the previous iPhone 12 Pro is much bigger with this one than the difference between the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13. That one only got a new camera and that smaller notch, but apart from that, it's basically the same iPhone. I think the ProMotion display is definitely a big change that is going to make a big difference this year. And of course, I'm going to make a full judgment after my review. But I also think that that means that this year, if you buy a new iPhone, it should probably be this one and not the regular one. Last year, it didn't really make sense to get the Pro model, but I think this year that's different. But of course, we have to try this out now. So I'm going to set up this iPhone and then we're going to see if ProMotion is really worth it and if it really feels that different from the previous iPhones. Okay, so I set this new iPhone up now, and of course I'm going to scroll through the interface a bit. I'm going to put footage of this into here later so you can really see what difference it does make. I think the difference is not as big as I would have honestly expected. That's probably because 60 Hz on the iPhone was already pretty optimized. It is definitely something that you can notice, but yeah, it's not as big of a difference as I would have thought. But scrolling through the interface here and so on, it definitely does feel nice and smooth. Of course, I'm going to review this iPhone. I'm going to make a long-term review of this probably about 1 month later, because you've probably already seen some of the short-term reviews of a few days floating around. So I'm definitely going to take my time with this and then really go in depth if the new features are really worth it. Of course, mainly the new camera and that promotion display. What did we learn from this unboxing? That blue definitely isn't as blue as you might expect. It's definitely more of a grayish blue. And of course, promotion is pretty nice, but not as big of a difference as I would have thought. But I think with that, we're basically done. Get subscribed so you don't miss the full review of this phone. And with that, the only thing that remains to say is, if you enjoyed this video, you know which buttons to press, and don't forget to press that follow button on Twitter. I'm Brian, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.